Hi everybody and welcome to Action Figure Breakdown episode number 13, lucky number 13. My name is Seth, back here with you again. Today we're going to talk about a bunch of different things. We're actually going to venture outside of our normal Marvel Legends comfort zone. We're going to talk about our Funko Pop giveaway, which I'm going to do an official post for on our Facebook page. If you haven't checked us out on Facebook and Instagram. We're at Action Figure Breakdown. We got some really cool posts up, and we'll be talking about, like I said, our giveaway on Instagram and Facebook coming up pretty soon. And we'll put the official post up probably right after we publish this video. But real quick, let's get to outside of our comfort zone real quick. We're going to talk about a few action figures I picked up for a friend. I'm going to be mailing them out to him shortly, so we won't be taking these out of the box. But we will do a quick look-see at the accessories and the cool figures inside the box. And we've got some Mighty Morphin Power Rangers here. Let me see if I can fix this lighting a little bit. We'll drop my computer screen window. Hopefully that'll help. All right. Okay. There we go. I got Spider-Man up there. You guys can see him in the background. Okay, guys. So here we've got Billy the Blue Ranger from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. There we go. The lighting's a little bit better. And as you can see, he's got a kind of a cool metallic paint sheen to him. He comes with the cool blaster slash dagger accessory. I'm actually super interested to see if you guys remember in the TV show back in the 90s, not only were those daggers, but they were blasters as well, and they would kind of fold over as such. So I'm interested to see if it does that. Oh, that's really bright in my face. So he's got that. He's got his cool double-sided lance here. These are the Legacy Rangers done by BanDai. The same company that does SH Figuarts. And those are some pretty high-end figs, $60, $70 a piece for the Marvel side. These are not their Figuarts. These are their Legacy Edition Rangers. But you really know, and you can tell, that this is a BanDai product based on the amount of care and stuff put into this. I did a really good up-close look at the paint. It's super sharp. The lines are really nicely done. The silver on the helmet's painted on very beautifully. There's no like splotches or anything like that. The morpher's done really well. You see that nice little gold coin, the red trim, and the black, just like in the TV show. The lances have a pretty cool, if you could take a look there, if I can get a good shot. They have the power coin right there in the lance from the show as well, which is pretty neat. So really, really cool figure. And I managed to scoop him up a couple because he was looking for a few. Our buddy Eric, and we got him Zach the Black Ranger as well. So there you go, guys. There's Zach. Not necessarily the same metallic sheen to him that the Blue Ranger has, but that's cool. His paint is still super sharp. As you can see, the lines are really well done on the helmet as well. On the Mastodon, not a lot of splotches or anything like that. There's a power coin and his cool battle axe here he comes with, which also was a gun blaster, so that's going to be neat to take a look at that when Eric gets that out. Go ahead and check him out on YouTube, guys. Eric Ratcliffe. He does his unboxings and reviews as well. Really good friend of mine in the collector community. Really cool guy to watch. So give him a shout out if you guys get a chance. So there's his Legacy Black Ranger. We're going to get out to him. And last but not least, in the Power Rangers, like I said, we're not going to unbox these guys. We'll just take a quick look. He's got the Space Red Ranger. So I am not, outside of Mighty Morphin, I didn't really venture too deep into the Power Rangers, hence I'm not a collector. You can test my Mighty Morphin trivia and it's pretty good, but once we get outside of that, I don't know anything. But yeah, this Space Ranger is super cool too. Again, super sharp job on the paint, right across the chest there with those different colors. The helmet lines are super sharp. Looks like Bandai is also doing the Build-A-Figure bit with the Build-A-Megazord piece in here, which is pretty cool. He's got a couple cool accessories and guns. I've really checked out the articulation on these pieces as well, and they look amazing. That leg joint looks super cool. A lot of articulation there. The wrists have a cool, neat, like little ball and socket joint, which is pretty sweet. Let's see if we can get a shot of that. See, there's that little ball at the end of the wrist there, which is pretty cool. So yeah, super excited to get these out to our buddy Eric. These look super neat. I got these at GameStop, so they are doing a restock of the Legacy style Power Rangers. So if you're a big Power Rangers fan, check those out. But today we're going to get into a few Marvel Legends and then talk about our giveaway. As you guys know, for our giveaway, we will be doing our 10-inch Funko Pop T-Rex that we'll be giving away. And like I said, we'll do an official post on our Facebook and our Instagram. You guys can comment on any of them with your entry. Basically, we just kind of require you to check out the video, obviously, subscribe to the channel, go to our Facebook page, like it, follow it, check out our Instagram, like, follow. You guys don't have to do all that stuff. I'm not a Nazi. I'm not going to check. But obviously, the more subscribers I get, the more people that comment, the more people that I engage with, the more I'm going to be doing cool giveaways, the cooler the giveaways will get, and the more videos we'll be doing reviewing figures as well. So, yeah, guys, just engage me. I'll engage you back. I'm a lot of fun to talk to. I think, at least. So anyway, we're going to steer on to our Marvel Legends reviews today, and I am super excited to show you a couple of the figures I got. Real quick, we'll go over which figures I talked about in our last video that we were going to review, and one of them is going to be this uber cool Daredevil from the Hobgoblin Build-A-Figure wave, as you guys can see. This Daredevil is the classic comic Daredevil. I don't want to say first appearance. I think the first appearance is the yellow and red one. That's a Walgreens exclusive, which is also really cool. It comes with an alternate head. But I like this kind of iconic, let's say, iconic black or red and red on red uniform. So I'm a huge fan of that. We'll get him out and show him to you guys. And then we've also got another Iron Fist to talk about. And this is our white Iron Fist from the Allfather wave. I picked him up. I'm trying to complete the Allfather Build-A-Figure. I'm getting pretty close. Machine Man and Sentry can be had pretty easy, so those will be the arms. The hard one to get is going to be Thor's leg. I do have the Thor loose, but not in a box with the leg, and I'm kind of OCD, so I'm kind of jonesing to get that figure. And I'm also going to need Scarlet Witch's Build-A-Figure parts as well. For the alternate head and cape for Odin/King Thor. I have her figure, and we will talk about her later, but I want to get all her pieces together. I have the figure in the box, but not the BAF pieces, go figure. But we'll talk about both of those figures later on in another review once we get Allfather built. In the meantime, while I was looking for Allfather, I bought a whole Allfather Build-A-Figure that I think you guys may have seen on our Instagram and Facebook page. I noticed as I was looking at him and inspecting my partly completed Allfather that his legs were incorrect. And so I took the figure back to the place I got it. I managed to swap it out for something in equal value. And I managed to snag this super cool Wolverine on a bike. We're going to go ahead and pop him out of there, take a look at that cool motorcycle and all that other good stuff. He comes with an alternate head, as you guys... Let's see if I can get that in the shot. He comes with an alternate head, a couple alternate hands. His claws look really good. This might be a candidate for a custom metal claws, but we shall see. He comes with a couple cool saddlebags, as you can see as well. So, super stoked to get this figure out and take him out and show you guys. I may have to do a video pause to do this. But then... also stopping at another local shop to see if they had any Allfather parts I needed, we found this guy, Bucky Cap. So this will complete my trilogy of Captain Americas, and I was not intending to complete them, but I saw him and this cool metallic sheen paint he's got on, and the cool gun, and the cool metallic shield, and we will do some cool shots of him and Sam and Steve on Instagram. But we're going to pop him out of the blister card. We're going to do that live on this episode. I'm not a huge... You guys know my feelings on blister card figs. I kind of hate them because I don't like ruining the box. I'm going to destroy this box. Like, this figure's coming out. He needs to see the shelf. This dude's awesome. Also, I got an Arnim Zola Build-A-Figure part here. We'll take a look at that. I'm probably not going to do that Arnim Zola fig. There's 5 parts and 7 figures in that line. Some really cool ones, too. There's a Dark Wolverine, which I've seen, actually, which is a Dakin. He comes with a cool alternate Dakin head. The Drax is comic style. You guys can see Phantom X and Madam Hydra right there, as well as Stealth Spider. And I think that's Wrecking Ball, the member of the Wrecking Crew. So, yeah, guys. So, there's the Arnim Zola Build-A-Fig on the back. I probably won't be doing that because these are older figs, and Dakin by himself goes for like $50. That Wrecking Crew figs, I've seen them for anywhere up to like 110 on eBay. I don't plan on spending that on individual figures, or I spent 30 on this guy. I was kind of mad at myself for spending that. But I thought it was a pretty good deal. And like I said, I'm busting them out of the cart anyway. But we've also got, so the new Marvel Hasbro Legends are coming out with an Arnim Zola Secret Empire cap, which is Hydra Cap. I'm not super interested in Hydra Cap. Not a fan of that story, as a lot of fans weren't. But I do dig the Arnim Zola fig. I might pick up the 2-pack just sheerly for the Arnim Zola fig. And it's essentially the same figure as the one you guys saw in the back there. That is a Hasbro Marvel Legends. It's kind of as Hasbro was doing their own molds and getting their own, like, everything was transferring from Hasbro to Toy Biz, and this was, like, Hasbro's first, like, good shot at it. I think it's a wonderful figure, and I can't wait to get it out and show it to you guys. But let's start out with the other 3 figs that I've got. 2 figs I've got out of the box already. We will start with Mr. Murdoch. So here we go, guys. This is our Daredevil, and this guy's super cool, as you guys can see. Comic style costume, iconic red outfit. I dig this guy because he's got the 2-tone paint on his gloves and on his boots and stuff like that. As you can see, it's like a deeper red on the rest of his body. We'll talk about articulation here real quick. So pretty standard head, up and down on a hinge, which is nice. We've got pivot on the ball joint. We've got standard Marvel Legends shoulder articulation here. Nice pivot. Good up and down. Bicep pivot. Double hinged elbow that you guys can see right there. Let's see. There we go. Good shot of that. And then we've got ab crunch. So we've got some pretty standard Marvel Legends ab crunch. I don't know if any of you guys have that problem, but I think I got a weird, maybe it's a broken plastic piece in there. Anyway, not a huge deal. He still ab crunches. He moves. He's got good range of motion. I'm not super worried about it. As you guys can see, that gap might be because of that broken plastic piece you guys can hear rattling around in there. But I'm not super concerned. He's a shelf piece. So we've got thigh pivot, super cool for posing. So you guys can get a good shot of that double hinge knee right there, which is pretty nice. It bends in both spots. Awesome. This holster, baton holster he's got here, is not molded on. It is movable, so that's kind of cool. You can twist it. I believe... Nope, it's stuck to the leg, unless you can slide it down over the thigh and get it over the knee and stuff like that. I mean, you could probably do that and then like move it to the other leg if you really wanted to. I'm not gonna, because I'm not that anal about which side it's on, but that works. So he didn't come with any hand options. We've got hands for holding the batons here. They do have the wrist pivot, which is pretty cool. Okay, so there's no forearm pivot. Like I said, we've got double hinge elbows, we've got shin pivot, we've got standard Marvel Legends ankle pivot, as well as hinge. Alright guys, so that's Daredevil in a nutshell. Oh! That's probably why that inside piece is broken. FYI, the belt, his belt is also, it doesn't look like it's molded on. I've got some movement and some flexibility here in the belt. Not a lot, but... Again, yep, that's not molded on, so that looks like it's twistable right here, this one. So you can move that around if you need to as well. So there you go, guys. Big shout out to Rocky Turner for hooking it up with this fig. Super excited to get this guy. He came with some Hobgoblin parts as well for the Build-A-Figure. I'm going to save these in the box because they're going to go out to a good friend of mine, Tom Pedicolis, who's trying to complete that Hobgoblin Build-A-Figure. Don't worry, Tommy, we're saving you all the Hobgoblin parts. Now, if anybody's got a lead on Space Venom Hobgoblin for myself, feel free to shoot me a line because I need one. Him and Thor, those are my two. Those are my two I'm on the hunt for. But I don't want to pay $80 for a figure and the BAF part. That's just a lot of money. Anyway, so let's move on to Iron Fist. So this is our golden / white Iron Fist here. I broke out the other Iron Fist to give you guys kind of a compare and contrast. Real quick, a couple things about this guy. He came with 6 different hand options. So we've got closed fist here on both hands. This fireball does not come with him, by the way. This is a Johnny Storm or the other Dormammu fireball. It might have been the Johnny Storm fireball, actually, based on the paint. But I'm not sure. It doesn't matter. I got spare fireballs laying all over the place. Okay, so here's the other Iron Fist Danny, real quick. And as you can see, he came with glowy fists. Just an FYI on the hands. So Green Danny came with hands that are interchangeable. As you can see, he's got glowy fists as well as wrapped fists, which is pretty cool. But this Danny's hands pop out at the forearm. So as you can see, we got a forearm hand here and a forearm hand here. So white Iron Fist's hands are not going to be interchangeable with green Iron Fist hands. That is unless you can manage to get the hand out of the joint here, which probably doable, but much like the Doctor Strange hands, I don't think I'd recommend it unless you hot water and cold water that sun gun. Because, yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big customizer. I don't want to break stuff. These figures are already older and kind of harder to find as it is. Real quick, we'll talk about the White Iron Fist. I really dig this figure a lot. So this is one of the first figures, it looks like, that they did that double shoulder joint thing going on, which is pretty cool. The paint on this guy, as you guys can see on camera, is super sharp. I wish the lines on his hands were a little sharper, or his forearms rather were a little sharper, but que sera, sera. All of his plastic has a really cool like gold metallic look to it, which is nice, and I dig it. Let's see, we got Marvel Legends shoulder pivot here. Oh, sorry about that, guys. So we got Marvel Legends shoulder pivot here. Like I said, we got the double hinge shoulder. We've got ab crunch. We've got wrist pivot, as well as hinge. We've got a standard Marvel Legends head. We're on the hinge here, and the pivot back and forth. Much like the other Iron Fist, that we got the plastic on the back for the tie for the head wrap, which is pretty cool. He's got the belt, which has got the nice gold tint to it. We got some hip pivot. It's pretty cool. Legs are pretty standard. Double hinge knees, you guys can see there in the light. The legs, standard ankle pivot for Marvel Legend. All right, so like on our other Iron Fist, no shin pivot on this guy. That kind of bites. He's got pretty flat feet that are nice and Spider-Man-esque, and they have the good ankle pivot, so it's not too hard to pose him. I would say my biggest grudge with this Iron Fist versus this Iron Fist is strictly eye paint. Like, it's literally just the eye paint. So this guy's eye paint, and maybe it's just this figure that I got in particular, but here, I'll pop heads off so you guys can take a good look at these. Ooh, sucker's head doesn't want to come off. Come on, Danny. Ooh, all right, maybe not. So I don't feel like fighting with that Danny's head, and there's no point in popping the other guy's head off if I'm not going to take both of them off. All right, so we'll look at Gold Danny's head real quick, up close. So I can get a good shot of that. God, I don't want this episode to run too long. I might break it up into two to do those unboxings of the Bucky figs, because we're at 18 minutes already. So, all right, let's see. No, that's terrible. There we go. Okay, there we go. There's a good shot, guys. So as you guys can see, the black around the eyes isn't terrible. It's not bad. It's just not as, like, pronounced. And the silver, which they use to do the white over his eyes, is, like, not very good in my opinion. It just doesn't stand out. Again, not very pronounced. The black here, the eye shape is just, I mean, you can see it even when it's not in focus. The eye shape is just better. The white stands out more pronounced than the black. I think his head just looks better here. And it's not even necessarily about mold shape so much as it is about paint. That might have been a mold thing that they chose to do around the eyes, but I dig this. I dig this figure a lot more than the white one. I don't hate the white one. I actually really dig the metallic look on it. But like I said, he doesn't come with a fireball, and his eyes look funny. And he doesn't come with glowy fists. That was the other thing. Okay, so onto his hand options. He comes with 6 hand options. That was super cool. I was like, awesome, 6 hand options for an Iron Fist. He's the karate master. That's awesome. They didn't give him any glowy hands. What? Okay, whatever. So moving on. He's got a cool karate chop action hand, which is pretty cool, very much like the Namor hand. He's got two of them, one for each hand, so he can be doing double kung fu karate chop action. So that's pretty neat, as you guys can see there. All right. He comes with what I don't know much of, like, I'm not a martial artist, but he comes with these cool, like, Spock-like tiger strike hand looking hands, I think. I don't know. They're pretty neat. They're basically, the fingers are separated like that. It looks pretty cool. But again, one for each hand. And like I said, you could do a karate chop in one, tiger strike in the other. It's pretty neat. And these other ones, which I thought I liked a lot, they're just they look like they're, like, again, claw tiger strike style hands. But what's cool about these is, as you guys have seen with the newer figs, the 10-year figs, like the Tesseract or the Red Skull Tesseract fig, these hands are great for holding stuff. So you can, like, hold a Tesseract or hold a beer or, like, other stuff that you want your figures to hold with these that are not necessarily a gun hand. You know what I mean? So these are cool hands for that, and they're flesh toned. So it's like, okay, he didn't get glowy hands, but I got flesh toned hands I can use with other figs. I think this is a good customizer's fig. And he's got a white body, so if you really wanted to, like, rip him apart and paint over him and do a different character, you could do that with this figure. So that's pretty cool about this Iron Fist figure. So that's our Iron Fist. That is our Daredevil. Real quick, guys, I'm going to go ahead and pause the video. I'm going to get Bucky out. We're going to take a look at him, and then I'll save Wolvie for another episode. I'm super stoked about showing you guys that Wolvie figure, but he needs a special shelf, and I got to assemble that thing. So I'm going to pause real quick, and we'll break out Bucky, and then we'll be right back. Okay? Okay, guys, and we're back. All right, sorry about that. It took me a little while to get that box out. As you guys know, I'm a super crazy person about my blister cards. I don't like blister cards. You end up ruining and destroying the box. So real quick, I'll do a quick kind of like one over how I got this bad boy open. So here's the back of the box. I took this cool straight edge blade. I basically, essentially, there are these little flaps, as you guys can see right here. Okay, they kind of go over the side. I basically just slid the X-Acto knife under the back of that, flapped them open. The bottom was a little trickier. The bottom does have something I kind of had to rip, but I didn't rip it hard because I didn't want that paper to rip too bad. So again, just kind of sliding the X-Acto knife along the bottom of that bad boy. Did that on the side, and as you guys can see, I was able to kind of like boop. And so the top of the card's not ripped, which is nice. I can slide them back in there in theory and tape them back up. Obviously, I probably won't do that. It'll probably stay on the shelf, but I'm just crazy about boxes. I like to have them to display if I want to later. But anyway, let's get to the figure, because this guy's so cool. Okay, so Bucky Cap. You guys know the story. Captain America dies / retires a couple times, gives the shield to Bucky. Bucky takes over. Falcon gets it a couple. It's long, convoluted, but Bucky as Captain America is super fucking cool. I bleeped myself out there. Isn't that fun? All right, so here he is, guys. Bucky Cap in all his glory. As you guys know, Bucky Cap is not afraid to use a gun, so they gave Bucky Cap a gun right here. Super cool. He's got the two-tone, let's move his shield so you guys can see it. He's got the two-tone, super dope Bucky Cap paint here. So he's got the black pants that kind of do that V into the jumpsuit, and we've got the top half Captain America here. As you guys can see, it's done pretty much the same down the backside. He comes with an uber friggin' cool utility belt. The only thing I don't like about this is that it's molded on. So it's not movable. You can't kind of like shift it or anything like that, but it's like a super minor detail. So do you remember on Steve Rogers when I told you guys he had that cool utility belt and a knife, but the knife didn't come out? The knife comes out. He can use the knife. The only thing I don't like about this knife per se necessarily is where it sits on the figure. So as you can see, it's kind of hugging his torso right there. Makes it a little difficult to pose him, but you could take the knife out. Also, on this figure, the gun comes out of his hand. And as you know, he's got a cool Hasbro gun hand with the trigger finger, so that's pretty cool. Let's see if I can get a good shot of that. Okay. The gun also has a cool, nifty little holster you can stick it in. So you don't have to have Bucky using his gun. He can just be Cap with a shield, which is super cool. Let's talk about his articulation real quick, because this is a little bit different. It's pretty standard Marvel Legend articulation. So his head feels a little bit skinnier, smaller than the other Caps, but that's okay. I still dig this head. As you guys can see, we've got molded on wings, which, as you guys know, I like on the Wolf Cap. So we've got a standard Marvel Legends hinge, back and forth on the head. The shoulders are pretty standard. Let's get his shield off here real quick. Oh, don't break the shield. Let's get it off the wrist. Okay, there we go. Make sure it's out. Okay, there we go. Make sure I didn't break the shield there for a hot second. Thought I did. Nope, we're good. Okay. Alright, so we've got double hinged elbows. You guys can see I get a little bit better light on that. Right there we go. So we got double hinged elbows, which is pretty cool. A little harder to see with the black, but they're there. Wrist pivot and hinge, which is pretty cool and nice. Pretty standard. We've got ab crunch. We've got waist pivot, which is cool. Thigh pivot. Double hinged knees. You guys can see pretty clearly right there. This Cap does have shin pivot, which is cool, right at the boots. So it's kind of like, I think Wolf Cap has that actually, if I remember correctly. One of them does. Anyway, so yeah, and then foot pivot. Let's see, we've got the hinge, and do we have? Yep, we've got Marvel Legends ankle pivot here as well. So that's pretty cool, guys. The hips are pretty neat. They're pretty standard Marvel Legends hips, which is pretty awesome. But as you guys can see, this Cap's just super cool. He's got kind of like a neat metallic sheen to him. I'm super excited to get this guy. I can't wait to get some pictures of him up on Instagram and Facebook. So guys, that's our review for today. As I said, we're going to put up our official post for a giveaway coming up for this guy, T-Rex. You come home and give you a hug with those tiny little arms. So we'll be doing the official Facebook post, Instagram post for that giveaway today. And I will do some Instagram and Facebook shots of Bucky and Sam and Steve. I'm super excited to get those up as well. So thank you guys for watching. Like I said, engage, like, comment, share. Feel free to share the giveaway with your friends too, guys. I don't care who enters. The more people, the better. So let's get more than 9 people, the same 9 people trying to win one thing. Yeah, so like I said, check out our Facebook at Action Figure Breakdown, our Instagram at Action Figure Breakdown. Comment on YouTube. Feel free to send me a message. I love shooting shop with you guys. It's a lot of fun. Some of the coolest people I've met have been through these Facebook groups and this YouTube channel. So, yeah, guys, hit me up. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you episode 14 next time around. Bye-bye.